What's going on, guys? JD here from Perspective Captured, and we are talking about making your footage look more cinematic.
Try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars.
So you just got your drone, or maybe you've been flying for a while, and you're looking at your footage, and you're just like, I'm just not happy with it. What's wrong? All right, if you ever notice, whether you're watching a movie or whatever it might be, you're only getting about 5 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds. So those 3 to 5 seconds are really there just to get that establishing scene. And what they do is, to get that beautiful establishing scene, is they fly the drone to where they want. They're looking at their remote and they're like, okay, this is the image I want. Now let's fly into it, and a little past it maybe, or just into it, depending on what they're exactly shooting for. And so let's start. This is starting with tip number 1, fly slow. So flying slow, that's probably the first and most important tip I can give you here, is fly slow. You're going to notice here, I'm going to put this up on the screen. I'm flying the Mavic here in sport mode, and you can see how twitchy it is. Versus here, I'm going to fly it not in sport mode. This is kind of tip number 2 to help you with tip number 1, is to go into your settings and turn down the responsiveness of your controller if you're not in sport mode. So this way you can nice and easily change your angles and fly around the building. Tip number 2, or 3, because these are all connected, is you can, if you fly slow, you can always speed up your footage in post, where if you are flying fast, you can't always slow down your footage, especially because most of the time you're filming in 24 or 30 frames per second. So slowing that down is going to look horrible. It's going to look choppy. Here's my sport mode footage again, but slowed down. So you definitely want to film, you definitely want to fly slow, so that way your filming is correct. Speeding it up in post, super easy to do. So as long as you have a slow and controlled movement, really slow, you're gonna be good. Now here's that nice controlled footage sped up. So now that you're flying slow and trying to get that nice, smooth image as it goes across, you can always speed that up in post. And now you're looking for those 3 to 5 seconds. Like, always hold your movements for about 5 seconds, because this way you can take those 3 to 5 seconds of whatever you want your image to be as it's coming across. You're like, oh, these are the perfect 3 seconds I want. Well, it's a good thing you held your controller right where it was. So if you're just flying straight, just hold it. All right, then make your adjustments. Like, if you watch my footage, it's all about adjusting. Oh, there's the angle I want. Okay, we're gonna tilt the gimbal down, and now we're gonna fly into it for 3 to 5 seconds, and that's the image I want. I'm setting up my shot. You don't see me setting up my shot, but that's how it all works. You need to set up the shot, because just like anything else, if I turn on my camera, you're gonna watch all the jiggle as I'm setting up the shot. Here, same thing goes. You're gonna watch all that commotion of the drone going crazy, and then it's like, oh, but you as the end viewer only see the beautiful 3 to 5 seconds that I allow you to see. So to get those nice, smooth, flowy shots, 3 things. Hold your remote for 3 to 5 seconds. Hold your positions of what you're doing 3 to 5 seconds. And also in non-sport mode, change the remote so that way the controller isn't super touchy. And then you have sport mode, like on the Mavic has the sport mode. You can flick that on and you still have a super twitchy drone, but that footage isn't gonna be super cinematic. Tip number 4, that is reading your histogram. All of your great camera angles and your great 3 to 5 seconds footage is not going to work out if you don't know how that image is gonna turn out when you hit the computer. The histogram is telling you, right here, let me pull up a histogram, And this is what a histogram should look like. You've got blacks on this side, you've got whites on this side. Your histogram should look like this bell curve. That's an ideal histogram, but if it looks like this bell curve or it has most of the stuff in the middle, you're perfect. You're not crushing your blacks or burning out your whites, blowing out your whites. So this is exactly what you want. This way you know in post you have a little bit of room to play with it, plus you're getting the best image you can get. If you're dealing with like the Spark or something like that, this guy's all automatic, so you're not really controlling that at all. But in the Mavic you're going to be changing things. You can add an ND filter to the front to get a better histogram. You can change your shutter speed. You have control. With the Spark here, they don't make an ND filter for this yet. Maybe they will. Hopefully they will. So back to that histogram. So here's an example of 3 images next to each other. You can see if it's underexposed, it looks like this. Overexposed, it looks like this. And then you've got your perfect exposure. So that's really what this histogram is telling you. It's that perfect exposure. If you got any questions, definitely leave them below and we will talk. We will communicate what is going on if you don't fully understand what I'm talking about. Now the Spark does pop up a histogram if you are flying the Spark. If you're watching this because you're flying the Spark does pop up a histogram, but you're left with pretty much no control over it. As far as what I can tell, exposes for the full image. Now this isn't really a tip, but it was a tip because in previous models of the DJI drones, you had to actually focus. So my Mavic, when I get out, I have to, the first thing I have to do is actually focus. Otherwise, it focuses about 3 feet from the Mavic. And then when I'm up in the air, it isn't in focus. So here's an example of when I was flying and I got up into the air, I wasn't in focus, and then I tapped the focus button, which for me I also leave as a bottom button. The bottom right hand button, trigger button, is a focus button for me. So that way when I'm up there I can just tap it and it then focuses that image. And tip number 5. Tip number 5 is the best tip. Okay, so you want to, if possible, it doesn't always work out, but if you can get whatever you're trying to image, if you can get some foreground in the picture and then come out and get that whole image right after like pulling over a tree. Here. Okay, we got a tree, right? So I'm going to come up and over the tree, which is going to reveal a whole beautiful landscape that I'm trying to portray with my image. But I'm using some foreground here to come up and over that tree. Use your foreground to get the image. Now that works for so many things. Like even if you're just using a camera on the ground, your cell phone, that is awesome. That makes an image so much better. Anyway. So use that foreground if you have it. If you have a tree, if you can raise up over the tree and show your beautiful image. And there you have it. 5 tips. Leave comments below. What do you think? Do you have any other cinematic ideas? Things that will make your video awesome. All right. If you've got suggestions and comments, down there, down below. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Here, going into tip number 4. That is, I forgot what it was. Oh.